This is the Lockpicker 1969 and welcome to my channel. Today I thought I'd kind of go over some tips or tricks or whatever you want to call it on how I organize my lockpicks and how I've organized them in the past. Share some ideas and perhaps maybe give some people ideas if they're thinking about how they want to organize theirs, and maybe they develop a solution to their problem based off of an idea or design that I used and presented here. And if that's the case and it helps you, great. If this isn't for you, hey, no problem. So without further ado, I'll go into each section or each portion of how I did lockpick organization. So when I first started in lockpicking, I needed a simple solution for organizing my picks, and essentially what I originally came up with was just taking standard 2x4s and essentially drilling a hole the size is a 9/16, which basically fits this just fine. I would take painter's tape and essentially put painter's tape on the bit, on the drill bit, that would show me the depth that I wanted to go for each of the holes in the block, so that I would go up to that and stop. But so I found that the 9/16 fits most picks. So for example, can throw some Petersons in here, and how about a Jimmy Longs? So they'll hold your picks just fine. Then I just took it to the next step and essentially did some staining on it to make it look decent, and put some felt bottom, glued some felt on the bottom of it so that it wouldn't scratch up the desk that it was on. But these fit in here just the same way, and maybe not the Jimmy Longs, but you can go up a hole size to, let's say, 5/8 to get the right size hole to put like Jimmy Long's picks in. Anyways, and I'm sure there are other picks that have wide handles as well that would be the same type, set of circumstances. Anyways, so that is the first type of pick organizational system I had originally set up. For my next iteration of organizing picks I found that test tube racks that you can purchase on Amazon work pretty well too. Surprisingly enough, these plastic ones are a pretty inexpensive option. They have the holes on both levels here and the smaller, so it basically fits nicely and notches your picks into there, and they stay put very nicely. So this plastic test tube option is a nice way to go. I will put a link to this particular item in the description. They have other types of like baskets and that sort of thing. These work relatively well to store multiple picks in each one if that's the way you organize your picks. Those are also available. I'll provide a link to that as well. And then last but not least, the one that I really have gotten fond of and use on my main video bench are these stainless steel test tube racks. Now, mind you, the bottom tier here, it does not have the holes. I had to essentially put the holes into this rack myself, but as you'll see, when you put your picks in there, they set nicely in there, they stay put, and they keep things organized. So essentially, to do this, I'll link these racks in the description as well. What you essentially do is, this is a 5/16 drill bit, and all I did was put a piece of wood underneath the metal tray, drill right down through into the metal, into the wood. The wood provided some solid surface underneath this metal so that it doesn't bend or warp the metal at all. And this came out relatively well. And you just chuck the block when you're done with all the holes. But anyways, that's essentially how I've made my racks that I use to organize my picks that are on my video recording bench. And for those people that don't really want to have their picks sitting in racks and they want them to be more mobile and able to go wherever they go, that's fine too. Most people have obtained cases if they bought a complete set, and there's lots of different options there. So a lot of pick sets come with a case of some kind. Sparrow's case here. So a lot of people are familiar with this case and use it for their sparrows. But anyways, I wanted to introduce the method I use that I prefer for my picks when I want to take them with me or I want them to be mobile. Maybe I move some of my picks to the bedroom so I can pick a lock while I'm watching television or something with my wife, something like that. Then these pick rolls, which cost about, I think $5. They're US PeaceKeeper, and essentially they allow you to pretty much put whatever picks you want into your roll, and then essentially cover them up like that, and then you can simply roll up your tools and take that with you and you're good to go. I usually do different rolls in different tool thicknesses to, and then take 3 or so rolls with me if I'm going to be doing a lot of picking. But that's essentially what I do with my tools to carry them around. Anyways, I hope that while maybe this hasn't changed your mind about how you want to organize your picks, at least maybe it's presented a few different options to think about. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope maybe you learned something or at least got some ideas to try. As always, please remember to hit subscribe. Remember to hit notifications all. That way you're made aware of new content when it comes out. And thank you for watching. This is my bench I use for working on challenge locks, and these are my pick stands and how I organize my picks on this bench. This is my video picking bench and essentially how I have my picks organized for use on this bench. And it's set for being able to handle video recording using GoPros at any angle. And these are my on-the-go pick rolls that I can take with me just about anywhere. Most of them are all Petersons, but I use these die rolls. Anyways, they work exceptionally well for carting around my picks and protecting them.